Hey guys, it's Rob the Rogue Jedi. Welcome to another episode, as today we are going to be touching on Darth Zannah, as you guys voted for her in the polls, and she won with a big number in the polls. So guys, I hope you enjoy this one, and let's dive right into it. Born on Smovrit, Zannah spent her young life with her three cousins, Daravit, Hardin, and Root, the former two beings of Force potential. Zannah, who was then known by her nickname Rain and Root, however, didn't show signs of being Force sensitive. During the new Sith Wars, Jedi Scout Tor Snappet of the Army of the Light arrived to recruit Force sensitives, and Zannah, with assistance from Daravit, managed to persuade him to allow her to join them. Zannah joined the Jedi and her cousins in the Ruusan campaign, the war's final campaign. Shortly upon arrival, Zannah was separated from the others when they were attacked by the Buzzard fighters dispatched by the Brotherhood of Darkness. Her cousins presumed Zannah had perished, but in actuality, she had survived the attack but became lost in the forest. Zannah befriended a bouncer named La and spent the next several days with her new companion, recovering from the traumatic experience. During the war that ensued in Ruusan, the Brotherhood unleashed a force storm to destroy the landscape, with Zannah and La caught in the chaos. However, Zannah managed to protect La with the protective bubble. Zannah, realizing her power, hoped that she would become a Jedi Knight. However, La prophesied that she would become a Dark Jedi. Horrified, Zannah attempted to commit suicide, but spared her life, deciding that her fate would not be decided by La. La was killed when Jedi Knight Pechta and companion were tasked with eliminating the bouncers, who had been driven into a state of madness by the war. Though La had not been succumbed to the madness, a devastated Za used the dark side of the Force to kill the two Jedi responsible, and then mourned the death of her friend. Zannah's display of aggression attracted the attention of the Sith Lord Darth Bane, who had recently abandoned the Brotherhood of Darkness. Impressed by her abilities, Bane offered Zannah the opportunity to become his apprentice, which she agreed to. After the war, which had resulted in both the Jedi and Sith armies decimated, the survivors gathered in a cave where Zannah reunited with Daravit, who mistakenly believed that she was Bane's captive. Daravit made an attempt to attack Bane, but was easily dispatched by Zannah. Though she spared his life, Bane questioned Zannah for her display of mercy, and she replied that killing him would be pointless. The two then departed from Ruusan, abandoning Daravit, becoming now Bane's apprentice. After becoming Bane's apprentice, Zannah was tasked with finding a way off the planet and meeting Bane on a planet Onderon in 10 standard days. Resentful of Bane for the task he had provided her, Zannah wandered to a shuttle going by the name of Rain once more. Mistaken for a war orphan, Zannah was boarded onto the vessel, the Starwake, where she was offered a chance to join them. However, stated that she wanted to go to Onderon and was taken to a Republic fleet. Zannah initially conflicted as to whether she should join Bane or the Republic. After meeting Wend, the son of Borden, a soldier of the Light Army, Zannah came to the conclusion that she would join Bane, as Borden had no way of protecting himself or his family from true danger. She killed the crew of the Starwake and flew to Onderon in order to rendezvous with Bane on the planet. Upon arrival, Zannah was ambushed by a Skeldon clan, but Bane came to her aid, killing the clan. Bane, impressed that Zannah had survived his test, officially made her his apprentice. For years, Zannah trained in the dark side of the Force on planet Ambria, with Bane's teachings resulting in any compassion in Zannah's heart for being erased. She learned to manipulate the powers of the dark side through the holocron of Freedom Nad, absorbing everything she could from the holocron. Zannah also constructed her own double-bladed lightsaber, which she named Bane's Heart. After years of training, Zannah became an instrument of Bane's will. Bane would use Zannah as primary contact to the outside world, sending her on missions designed to the pit of enemies of the Sith and Galactic Republic against one another. The two brought the Jedi numbers down to limit their chances of responding to a sudden crisis en masse. During a failed mission to abduct Supreme Chancellor Taris Valorum, Zannah was captured, her lightsaber confiscated, and taken to meet Hedin, the leader of the ALF, the Anti-Republic Liberation Front, a small group of revolutionary separatists. After dispatching the surviving members to ALF, Zannah learned that Hedin yearned to learn the dark side of the Force, and had collected a vast number of dark side artifacts and had knowledge of Sith holocrons created by the Sith Lord Bela Darzu. Zannah would then manipulate Hedin to take her and Bane Darzu's fortress to gain access to the holocron. The duel between a master and an apprentice. Zannah challenged Bane and the Dark Lord of the Sith, whose lightsaber had since been returned to him by Cognis, fell upon with furious power strokes, quickly driving her backwards. She was able to staff off his attacks, which soon changed into a pattern of quick thrusts and feints. Zannah decided that to ensure victory, she would need to use her sorcery. However, as she split her focus between Bane and gathering her power, she failed to notice the freshly dug grave of Sarah, who had been recently killed by Cognis. Zannah tripped over the grave and fell, and Bane instantly set upon her with a barrage of powerful blows and kicks, cracking one of her ribs. Zannah was able to free herself from assault with a series of acrobatic maneuvers and quickly stopped Bane, only to find out he had not followed her escape. Instead, staying several meters away, her mistake had cost her. She now had a broken rib, and her acrobatics had tired her greatly. Zannah quickly unleashed her gathered power in an attempt to drive her master insane. Bane was initially incapacitated by the mental attack of Zannah's sorcery, but he had conquered his fears years previously and was able to destroy the phantoms in violent blast of darkside energy, which also sent Zannah staggering backward. Despite Zannah tapped into the energy of the darkside nexus presents Ambria. Using this power, she drew forth tendrils of pure darkside energy from the ground and directed them against her master. One of her tendrils clipped Bane's shoulder and caused him such excruciating pain that he fell into the ground in shock. Zannah continued to pour the dark side into her manifestations, and Bane tried ineffectively to stall them with force lightning, but before he changed the sorcerers in an attempt to overwhelm her with brute strength, each of Zannah's tendrils were dodged as Bane moved in, swept off her feet, knocked her lightsaber right out of her hand. As he went for the killing blow, however, one of her tendrils cut off his arm and collapsed to the ground in agony. Bane quickly grabbed Zannah's wrist in a moment of despair and performed the ritual of essence transfer, a magic ability in which one's consciousness was transferred into another object or being, which he had learned from Adambu's holocron. His body was destroyed as his consciousness invaded Zannah's body, but Zannah fought back, and the two entered a battle of wills. After a moment during which they were matched evenly, Zannah finally defeated Bane, banishing his spirit into the void of the Force. Zannah laid on the ground, still disoriented from the struggle dominant of her body with Bane. Even though Bane had been defeated, part of him remained imprinted upon her in the form of spasming her left hand. She rose awkwardly and cleared the last vestiges of confusion before addressing the approaching Illica. When Cognis called the name of Bane, Zannah declared that Bane was no more, and that she, Darth Zannah, was the new Dark Lord of the Sith. As Cognis' new master, she instructed that Illica to take Bane's lightsaber, which she would use until she built one of her own. Zannah added that they were Bane's legacy and that they would continue the ways of the rule of the two. That way, although an individual might die, the Sith would live on forever. Well, there you have it, guys. That is the story of the new Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Zannah, as she defeats her master, Darth Bane. A truly interesting story and the beginning of the rule of two. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Stay tuned for the next episode. And remember, when you subscribe, you're not just subscribing to a channel, you are subscribing to the Rogue Side.